Baby, it's cold outside, so let's cozy up by the fire with a couple spicy little things. Talking about whiskey, bro. Like, where'd you think we were going with this? What's even better is tonight we're diving into rye spice and everything nice. And what used to be my nightmare, an all rye blind. Will Sagamore run the table, or will Craig Toasted Rye steal the show? Stick around and find out. It's the Cynple Whiskey Show.
Cynple Whiskey, Cyncere. Here to keep it 100, what's the ABV? Keep it simple. Cynple Whiskey, and be sweeter.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cynple Whiskey Show. I'm Cyncere, and tonight we're diving into 4 rye whiskeys. So switching it up, we were supposed to do 4, now we're doing 5. We're diving into daily sipper prices all the way up to why the heck would anybody spend that on a whiskey. But does price matter? Not tonight, because we going blind, baby. We'll be relying on nose, palate, and sometimes finish just to figure out which one is the best. We'll literally go through each one, nose, sip, eliminate, wash, rinse, repeat until we have a winner. Enough of the fluff. Let's get to the spicy stuff. Let's get to sipping. No matter how you mix them, no matter how you shake it, this rail mat's not gonna do it. So, you know what I do. Besides knock over Glencairns, I improvise. Let's go. So I don't know what it is, but I haven't been a huge fan of ryes in the past. It's almost like a switch went off lately and they finally started to click. So tonight we got the first rye blind I've done in over a year. 2 years apart in purchase date in some of these. Which one will impress tonight? Old Ezra 7, Craig Toasted, Sagamore Rye, or Whistle Pig 10-year. Oh wait, and Midwinter Night's Dram that I just added. Most of these I haven't been a fan of in the past, but since I've been on a rye kick lately, let's see how they all stack up. Glass A. Very smooth, nothing over the top. I don't even get that spearminty note that I usually get on ryes. Definitely a sweeter note of something. Let's give it a sip. Cheers. All right, so glass A, I did get a little bit of that rye spice or that spearminty note that I typically get on ryes. What I did not get was the spiciness of like a higher proof rye. I don't even know what the highest proof is that we're dealing with tonight, but whatever this was, drank pretty smooth, drank pretty sweet, definitely approachable, very sippable. Let's go into B and see what we get on the nose. Ooh, some sort of a rich caramel note. Like this right here screams bourbon. Cheers, glass B. It's weird that I almost get like a bubblegum note on the palate. Something sweet, something like almost syrupy. So let's go into glass C and see what we get on it. On the nose. Okay, so this has been the richer of the 3 in terms of what seems to be like unique qualities or deeper, bolder notes. I do get a little bit of that rye spice note, almost a cinnamon note. Something sweeter, maybe a little bit of a butterscotchy note, even a milk chocolate note. Something so sweet that I can't put my finger on it. Cheers. So that has the least punch in terms of flavor, but has the smoothest caramel note in terms of flavor. All right, glass D. So that nose is a little bit richer than some of the earlier ones. And I get a little bit more of that oaky note. Not sure if it's a little more proofy or if it's something about this one screams this is gonna be the real flavor bearer of the 4 that I've had, or the other 3, and this one being 4. So, cheers. So I was right. This one seems to be at least 100 proof based off of the way that I get that tongue tingle. This is why I like to do scripts. Like with a script, you can't just come off the cuff. And I'm trademarking that. This is where I get a little bit more of that tongue tingle, but I also get a heavy rye spice note on this. Very rye spice, very spearminty. All right, glass E. This gives me Woodford Reserve Double Oaked vibes. Let's see what we get on the palate. Cheers. Okay, so this one is definitely the richest, almost like a molasses something that's like thick, viscous, and not even overly sweet, but like overly rich. The first one I'm gonna eliminate was A. This one had the most lackluster flavor to me. The second one I'm gonna eliminate, glass B, was the one I got that bubblegum note on. So let's go back through. We now have C, D, and E remaining. Glass C. Glass C is like a golden shower of caramel. This has the most quintessential bourbon flavors. It is not as rye spice and everything nice forward as what I would anticipate from the bourbons or the ryes within this blind. It's a good sip. Glass D. And you know what I just noticed is none of these are like crazy dark, so I'm not sure if they've sat in the barrel as long as some of my favorite bourbons or not, but very unique flavors. And again, I was not a rye guy, and as of late, certain ryes have been catching my eyes. I want to say since really diving into the High West Midwinter Nights Dram, I'm surprised at just how much these actually are appealing to me, because I was anti-rye. It's almost like mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise. That's how I felt about ryes, and that's a very bold statement coming from me. Glass D, cheers. I get such a richer bourbon-esque note on this one that if this were not a rye blind, I would think this is a bourbon. Simple as that. Glass E. What did I get? Matter of fact, I'm not gonna look yet. I was getting ready to look at my notes to see what I got on E last time, but who cares what I got on it last time? What am I getting on it this time? Because I gotta pick a winner. I now remember which one this was. This is that richer note, like the molasses note. And I do believe it is, yeah, this is one of the darker of them. So I could be wrong. I thought this was the proofiest. Yeah, I'm trademarking that too. I thought this was the proofiest of the 5, but this one has such a rich flavor that maybe, just maybe, a little bit of that richness that's shining through is proof points. Could I be right? Probably wrong, but we'll see. I went back through C, D, and E, and I really think I need to eliminate one and pick a winner. So if I have to eliminate one, the one that just doesn't pique my interest as much as the others, Glass C. So if I were left with these two, the one that will not be the winner tonight, Glass E. So that means Glass D is the winner. And I'm curious because this was the one that I said drinks more like a bourbon. I like the intriguing notes I got on E and some of those sweeter molasses notes. And I don't like to say sweeter because I don't want you assuming it's like sugary. It was very rich. And like I said, I think thick, molassesy. And I don't know that I'm a molasses fan, but molasses is the note that comes to mind on E. The first one eliminated was Glass A. Whistle Pig 10-year, I said lower proof, rye notes, little sweet, little tangy. Not sure what I meant by tangy, but so far, the couple of Whistle Pigs I've had haven't impressed me as much. Just like rye whiskey, maybe it's something I come back to down the road. This isn't nowhere near like a George Dickel, but something about this just isn't for me. Second one out was Glass B. Oh man, I would have never guessed that. The hype bottle itself, Midwinter Nights Dram, I said probably low proof. I liked A better. When I went back through it, I got that bubblegum taste on it. Man, that's odd, because I really have liked that one as of late. I recently just did a review on it. Granted, it's overpriced, but it is fun. Third one that went out, the Golden Shower Flower. Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. This is actually really good in an old fashioned. The Elijah Craig Toasted itself is good in an old fashioned, but this is also good in an old fashioned, and that's what I've been using this one for. In terms of neat whiskeys, this did not do it. The other one that did not win was E. Oh. Okay, so this is interesting. Sagamore Rye was one that when I first bought it, and granted I've had this a lot of times, I've shared this pour with multiple people that said they hadn't had rye. Is this the molasses one? Yes, it's definitely what I got said oaky, molasses, and most intriguing. When I first started my whiskey journey, this was way too molassesy. Ted Molasso. This was way too Ted Molasso for me. Something about this was such a turn off or put off in terms of my palate that I banished it forever and have literally reserved it down here for folks who've came through that said they're huge rye fans. Tonight, it was way more intriguing. I thought it was more proofy. It's only 96 proof, and this was what I thought was the second proofiest, and obviously the winner, Old Ezra 7, the very first rye I ever purchased. I don't know if it still is, but it was allocated here in Virginia. And this was the very first rye I purchased. It was, this is the one I said drinks more like a bourbon and is more proofy. I did get that minty note. The thing I underlined was just how rich the flavor was in this. This one really shined through tonight in terms of complexity. It had the deeper finish. It also had some of those notes that lend it back to it being almost like a regular bourbon. So for me, these blinds are an opportunity for me to refine my palate. If you've tried any of these, let me know in the comments down below, which one of these do you actually like? Are any of these your go-to rye pour? Do you prefer any of these in a cocktail? Leave any of your recommendations down below in the comments. And I'll leave you with this. Whiskey, like life, can get a little spicy when you least expect it. Will you choose to embrace it or pass up a hot opportunity? Until next time, may your glasses be full and your stories be spicy. Keep it simple. Cheers.